Have you ever stepped into a room and just felt off? Like the space was cold, not because of the temperature, but because something didn't feel right? Maybe it was too bright or too empty, or just lacked that inviting warmth that makes you want to sit down, relax, and stay a while. Now think about the opposite. A room that instantly feels like a hug. You walk in, and without even realizing it, your shoulders relax. You breathe a little deeper. You feel at home, even if it isn't your home. That feeling isn't magic. It's something we can create, at any age, in any home, on any budget. Today, I want to talk with you about something that matters deeply, especially as we get older and spend more time in our personal space. It's about creating a home that feels warm, comfortable, and truly cozy. Not by buying expensive furniture or hiring an interior designer, but by understanding the psychology behind comfort. You see, coziness isn't just about looks, it's a feeling. And that feeling comes from subtle choices, light, color, material, and how everything comes together to support your well-being. Whether you live in a house, an apartment, or a cozy little cabin, these 7 principles can transform your space into a true sanctuary. Let's start with one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked elements: light. Light has an enormous effect on how we feel in a space. It's not just about being able to see clearly. The color and quality of the light around you can literally make a room feel cold or warm without changing the thermostat 1 degree. Think about a sunny afternoon where everything glows golden and soft. That yellowish warmth. It's comforting. It signals to your brain that it's time to wind down, to relax. Now contrast that with bright white light, like the kind in a hospital hallway. Harsh, sterile, overstimulating. In your home, you want to avoid that kind of light whenever possible, especially in the evenings. Instead, choose bulbs that give off a warm amber glow. Look for light in the 2700 to 3000 Kelvin range. Those are the ones that mimic sunset tones. They don't just make the room look better, they make you feel better. They make your skin look healthier, your mood more stable, your nervous system more calm. Here's a little trick. Walk into your room at night and turn off the overhead light. Then switch on a lamp with a warm bulb instead. You'll feel the difference immediately. Your body relaxes. Your eyes stop straining. It's like your whole home exhales. But light doesn't act alone. It works together with color to shape your experience of a space. Now, this isn't about painting everything beige or picking trendy colors. It's about how color behaves in the room, how it reflects and absorbs light, how it bounces warmth around the space. Let's say you have a room with lots of soft browns, gentle greens, and rich reds, earthy tones. When warm light hits those surfaces, it creates a golden glow that spreads across the room. That glow makes your space feel like a cocoon, like you're wrapped in a blanket of light. But if that same light hits shiny gray tiles or stark white walls, it doesn't spread. It bounces too harshly, creating a cold, flat feeling. Think about it. When was the last time you felt cozy in a dentist's office? Here's where the real magic happens, when the surfaces, the lighting, and the colors work together. Wood floors, warm walls, and soft textiles all absorb and reflect the light just enough to give your home a welcoming ambiance. Even the food on your table looks more appealing under warm light and warm tones. It's not just visual, it's emotional. This brings us to something our bodies know instinctively, even if we don't always realize it. Natural materials make us feel safe. As human beings, we're deeply connected to nature. We always have been. Long before artificial lighting, metal furniture, and plastic countertops, we built our homes out of wood, clay, and stone. These materials aren't just nice to look at, they calm us because they remind us of the forest, the mountains, the earth. Wood, in particular, is timeless. It doesn't matter if it's a polished walnut table or a rustic pine stool, wood carries a sense of life, of something real and grounding. You can run your hand across it and feel the story in its texture. You can see the grain, the knots, the warmth it holds. Even small touches of natural material make a big impact. A wooden picture frame, a basket made of woven grass, a cotton throw blanket, a jute rug. These don't have to be expensive. But they bring you back to something essential, something that says, you're home, you're safe here. This connection to the natural world, this instinctive pull toward earthy materials, is part of something called biophilia. It's the idea that humans are hardwired to seek connection with nature. And the more we bring natural elements into our homes, the more peace we tend to feel. We're not just decorating, we're grounding ourselves. So far, we've talked about light, color, and natural materials, three forces that gently shape how we feel, room by room. Together, they create a mood, a memory, a moment that feels unmistakably cozy. But we're just getting started. There's more to explore when it comes to turning your home into a true place of comfort, one that supports your well-being in subtle but powerful ways. Now let's take a moment to talk about something that might not seem obvious at first, but once you notice it, you'll start to see it everywhere. I'm talking about texture. You might not realize it, but texture plays a powerful role in whether a space feels cozy or cold. Think of a cabin in the woods. It might not be fancy, but it feels warm. Why? Because it's full of texture. There's a wool throw draped over a worn leather armchair, a woven rug under your feet, the grain of wood along the walls, maybe a soft curtain swaying gently in the window. Our eyes crave this variety. When everything in a room is smooth and flat, like shiny floors, slick tabletops, and bare walls, it can feel sterile and, frankly, exhausting. It's what some people call visual silence. There's nothing for the eyes to rest on, no warmth, no softness. It's like being in a showroom or a waiting room, not a home. But when you add texture, something changes. Your senses wake up, you feel more grounded. It's the same reason we find peace walking in a forest or strolling by the ocean. Nature is full of texture, tree bark, stones, leaves, sand. Our brains recognize that richness and respond with calm. The good news is, it's easy to bring texture into your home. You don't have to change everything. Try swapping out smooth throw pillows for ones with knitted or quilted covers. Lay down a thick rug in the living room. Choose curtains made of linen instead of polyester. Even something as small as a handmade mug or a clay vase can add that subtle, comforting touch. And you don't need to match everything perfectly. In fact, mixing textures makes a space feel more alive. Pair soft with rough, smooth with grainy. Just like nature, it's the variety that creates beauty and comfort. Now, speaking of comfort, there's one element that humans have turned to for warmth for thousands of years: fire. There is nothing quite like the gentle flicker of a flame to make a space feel safe and serene. Think about it. Before central heating, before electric lights, fire was life. It gave us light, warmth, and a place to gather. And even now, just watching a fire can be soothing. It slows your breathing, quiets your thoughts. There's something primal in it, something deep in our DNA that tells us, here, by the fire, you can rest. Not everyone has a fireplace, of course, but there are beautiful ways to capture that feeling. Candlelight is one of the simplest and most powerful. Just a few candles grouped together on a coffee table or near your bed can create an atmosphere that no overhead light ever could. It's not just about the light itself, it's the movement. Flickering light mimics the glow of firelight. It dances gently across walls and surfaces, casting soft shadows that feel like nature's rhythm. That subtle movement is calming to the nervous system. It says, you're safe. You're home. If you're using lamps, try placing them at different heights, some low on tables, others mid-level on a shelf. Layering light creates little pockets of warmth, instead of flooding the room with one bright, flat glare. And if you can, install dimmers on your switches. Being able to lower the light in the evening helps your body transition into rest mode. Just like watching the sun go down used to tell us it was time to slow down. Now let's step back and look at the space as a whole, not just what's in it, but how it's arranged. This next principle might surprise you. The layout of your furniture can either make you feel supported and embraced, or leave you feeling exposed and unsettled. Picture a room where the sofa sits all alone in the middle, with nothing around it. You might not even realize it, but that emptiness can feel vulnerable. It's a bit like standing in the middle of a big field with nowhere to sit, nothing to lean on. Our brains don't like that. But imagine that same sofa tucked into a corner, with a soft throw on one side and a lamp behind it. Maybe a plant on the end table, or a photo of your family. Suddenly, that same seat feels like a haven, like a little nest. This is the idea of enclosure. Our minds and bodies feel calmer when we're surrounded by gentle boundaries. It doesn't mean boxing yourself in, it means creating little zones where you can relax. Like a reading nook with a lamp and a chair, a bed with a headboard and a cozy quilt, a dining table with a pendant light hanging above, drawing you in. Even nature teaches us this. Think about how peaceful it feels to sit under a tree. It's not just the shade, it's the shelter. The tree creates a soft roof that makes us feel held and protected. We can bring that same feeling into our homes, just by arranging things with care. Try pulling your furniture away from the walls just a bit. Place a rug underneath your coffee table to define the space. Use bookshelves or curtains to create gentle divisions in an open room. These small changes don't just improve how a room looks, they change how it feels. And at this stage in life, feeling at ease in our homes isn't a luxury, it's essential. So far, we've explored the unseen forces that make a home feel truly cozy: light, color, natural materials, texture, flickering warmth, and spatial flow. Each one speaks to something deeper than decoration. They speak to how we live, how we rest, how we reconnect with ourselves in a world that often moves too fast. And we're not done just yet. There's one more beautiful principle that brings it all together, that softens sharp edges and calms the mind in the most elegant way. And that final principle is something we often overlook in our homes, but we naturally seek it out everywhere else. It's the power of curves. There's a reason we find a winding garden path more inviting than a straight sidewalk, or why we feel soothed walking beside a flowing stream instead of standing in a rigid concrete plaza. Our eyes and our nervous systems respond to softness, to rounded edges, to shapes that feel alive. In fact, research shows that humans instinctively associate curves with safety. It goes back to our most basic instincts. Sharp angles and jagged lines often signal danger in the natural world, thorns, cliffs, or broken branches. But round forms, they're familiar, gentle, comforting. When we surround ourselves with straight lines and sharp corners, whether it's boxy furniture, square tiles, or hard-edged cabinets, we might not even notice how tense it makes us feel. But when you add softness, when a table has rounded corners, when a chair curves to cradle your body, when your decor includes flowing shapes, it creates ease. It tells your mind, you can relax here. You don't need to throw everything out and start over. You can simply begin noticing where things could be softened. A round mirror above your dresser, a vase shaped like a river stone. Even switching out framed art for something more fluid, like a fabric wall hanging or an abstract painting, can shift the mood of a room. You might try placing a circular table between two armchairs instead of a square one, or choosing cushions with soft edges instead of ones that feel stiff and geometric. These little changes might seem small, but they add up. They whisper to your senses, not shout. And at this stage in life, that quiet comfort matters more than ever. You've spent a lifetime building, giving, caring for others. Now, your home should care for you. It should be a place that doesn't just house you, but heals you. That supports your body, your energy, and your spirit. And creating that kind of space doesn't mean chasing trends or buying the most expensive sofa. It means listening to how your environment makes you feel and giving yourself permission to make it better. Let's take a step back and remember what we've explored together. You now know that light, especially warm, soft light, is one of the most powerful ways to create calm and warmth. That color isn't just about style, but about how it interacts with light to shape your experience of a room. That natural materials, wood, stone, woven fibers, connect us to the earth and offer quiet reassurance. You've learned that texture brings life and interest to even the most simple spaces. That the flicker of fire or candlelight calms something ancient within us. That how we arrange our furniture can create a sense of being held, embraced, and safe. And finally, that curves and organic shapes are more than just beautiful, they're healing. These 7 principles aren't just design tips. They're reminders that comfort isn't a luxury, it's a need. That home is more than walls and furniture. It's the environment that cradles your days and your nights, your quiet mornings and your restful evenings. And most importantly, it's never too late to create that kind of home. Whether you're 60, 70, 80, or beyond, your space can still evolve with you. Small changes, swapping a light bulb, moving a chair, lighting a candle, can spark big shifts in how you feel every day. So here's my gentle invitation to you. Take a look around your home this week. Don't look with critical eyes, look with kind ones. Ask yourself, does this room make me feel comforted, relaxed, safe? And if the answer is no, choose just one small thing to change. Add a warm lamp, bring in a plant, rearrange a cozy chair. Let it be simple. Let it be fun. If you enjoyed this conversation, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Maybe you've already made some cozy changes, or maybe you have a favorite corner in your home that brings you peace. Share it with us. Your story might inspire someone else. And if this video gave you even one good idea, please give it a like and subscribe to Strong Elderly Life for more heartwarming, helpful content to make your life fuller, cozier, and more joyful. Because life doesn't slow down after 60. It opens up in new ways. And your home, your beautiful, comforting home, can be a part of that. Here's to creating a space where you feel good every single day. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.